Brown body has no glory. If she could dance naked under palm trees and see her image in the river, she would know. But there are no palm trees on the street. And dishwater gives back no images. Once riding in old Baltimore, my head was filled, my heart was filled with glee. I saw a Baltimorean keep looking straight at me. Now, I was 8 and very small, and she was no bit bigger, and so I smiled. But she stuck out her tongue and called me Nick. She said, "You little black girl with me." She said, "I hate all that." I saw the whole of Baltimore from May until December. And of all the things that happened there, that's all that I remember. Still, I open my mouth to the Lord and I won't turn back, no. I am so happy to be in Cincinnati. I'm so pleased to meet you. I'm so pleased to meet you. I know who you are. I know you are rainbows in the clouds. I know that. I know that we all are part of a big family. One part of the family is called the Martin family. I know that you know that Trayvon Martin's mother and father are here. Personally, I'm a member of that family. And so are you. Let's all stand. Thank you that you know enough. Thank you that you know enough to claim your kinship. And that gives them hope. That gives them strength. Those immediate members of the family. There's a song that says, when it looked like the sun wasn't going to shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the sky. Now that was, it was inspired by a statement in Genesis. In Genesis we are told, rain persisted so unrelentingly that in an attempt to put the people at ease, God put a rainbow in the sky. In the 19th century, some African-American lyricist, a poet, probably a woman, I'm not sure of that, said God put the rainbow not just in the sky, but in the clouds themselves. Now we know that suns and moons and stars and novae and comets and all sorts of illumination are always in the firmament. However, clouds can so lower and lower that the viewer cannot see it. But if it's put right in the clouds, and that means at the worst of times, there's a possibility of seeing hope. And that's what each one of us is. Imagine a rainbow in somebody's cloud. Imagine, and that you have come together for all these days to serve our children. The black ones, the white ones, the pink ones, the yellow ones, the fat ones, the thin ones, the pretty ones, the plain ones, the gay ones, the straight ones.
Come on now.
Come to this place in Cincinnati to celebrate them, celebrate their lives, and hope by coming together that we lift the value of their lives, not just to us, but to everybody. And that Cincinnati had enough sense to invite us. I know that, please sit. I know that you know I live in North Carolina. And it's wonderful. And it's a fair step between North Carolina and Cincinnati. I used to fly, but I stopped flying about 10 years ago because I've become well known I look just like Maya Angelou. And so people run up and sometimes they grab my clothes, they poke at me, sometimes they give me their babies. And I want to say, would you like to have changed him before you finish? About 10 years ago, I went into an airport, and I was going down the escalator, and a woman was coming up. She had an infant in her arms, and was pulling a little toddler. She saw me, she said, oh, I said, good morning, and went on down. The next thing I know, she came down the escalator, dragging the toddler. We got to the ground, or rather to the floor where the trains were, and this woman let go the toddler and brought me the baby. I had to call Miss Stuckey, my assistant. I said, get that little toddler, please. She said, you got to have a photograph. Here, hold the baby. I took the photograph. We got on the train, and a man in a wheelchair said, I know who you are, come over here. And I was in a wheelchair. I mean, we got on the plane, and the stewardess just knelt beside my chair. She said, Miss Angelo, you've changed my life. I want you to know what. And I said, Miss, maybe you want to help your colleague take the people's tickets and put their bags overhead and all that. Oh, no, she said, I had Brad Pitt on my plane. I never did this. So I said, well, dear, try it now. When the plane, we got about like that up in the air, and the door of the cockpit opened, and the captain came down. The captain, all that braid on it. I said to Miss Stuckey, I said, something's wrong. The man stopped at my seat. He said, Dr. Angelo? I said, yes. He said, I saw in the manifest you're on board. My daughter is studying you up at Smith. I said, who's minding the store? He said, oh no, I'm on automatic pilot. I said, you better get back. I told Miss Stuckey, I said, I bet there's a better way to do this. So I called around, and by nightfall I had a bus, a Star Coach. It belonged to Prince. I kept it for a while, and then I bought one. So I have a bus. It's not a Greyhound. It has a stove and a sofa and a bed and all that, but it's still a bus. And coming from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, to Cincinnati, when I say I'm glad to be here, I mean it. I came here on purpose. I came here to say something. And I'm not going to leave until I finish.
All right.
I spoke to Miss Marian Edelson this morning. And I said, they tell me I have the right to speak for 15 minutes. She said, well, no, if you want more. I said, I can't hardly say my name. I have come here to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who has the courtesy and the courage to reach out and help somebody else. Thank you. We are all thankful. I look at that family, the Martin family, and I told them this morning I've been on my knees with them, in prayer with them, since the tragedy. And my prayer for them is to be strong, continue to be strong. And if, in fact, the brute is not, if he's exonerated, it's very difficult to go to avoid being bitter and entering into hate. What we have to do is ask for, search for, seek for, and demand justice. Now, that means that we don't become poisoned by hate. You see? It's very important. I don't want to see 5 more Trayvons and 5 Trevettes get killed by police who've been waiting for that chance. You see? So at some point, in our prayers for ourselves, all ourselves, let us please pray for justice, for fair play, for courage. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, I believe, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. You can be anything erratically: kind, fair, just, merciful, generous, blah, 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 blah. But to be that thing time after time, even when friends and family have said, "You mean you're still seeing those people? Don't you know they're gay? Don't you know those people are white? Those people are Chinese, they don't care anything about you. Don't you know?" To continue, I encourage my young grandchildren and great-grands to develop courage. You may not go out and pick up a 100-pound weight, but if you want to get to the place where you can pick up a 100-pound weight, you start by lifting 5 pounds, and 10 pounds, and then 20. My encouragement to you this minute is to not use or allow to be used in your presence any racial pejorative.